let's get started with the video. We have here the black egg that is known as the truth. All right, got the judgment card in the reverse. Could be upright for some of you and represent a past situation, so we will go over the interpretations for that. And then we have the Four of Cups over there as the action, outcome, or advice for you guys. So intuitively, looking at the black egg, and let me not forget our Hierophant. Ooh, oh, Three of Swords in reverse. So yeah, this Judgment and this Three of Swords both in reverse, I don't think it's a coincidence. We're also going to take some oracle cards out and just have a little discussion here. But intuitively, with these particular cards, when I saw the black egg, I know that it speaks of the truth. And sometimes it's the truth that people don't want to hear. And for some of my, collective, I won't call you guys magical beings and shit all the time, but that is the truth, right? So for some of you that may have a certain path, a certain destiny, a certain prophecy on life, a calling of some sort, and answering it, I feel that for some of you, there could be some self-doubt and or maybe feeling like what you do, how you do it, where you're supposed to do the things that you're interested in may be boring in comparison to where the state of the world is, right? Now, fortunately for you, this is your calling. Anybody else trying to do this may struggle, may be overlooked, may be considered boring, but this is like your thing. And the Hierophant has a higher rank than most. And it's crazy that on the channel, we literally had a video or have a video with the Hierophant and another deck. So I'll use this deck for your clarifiers, but it literally stated that you have a higher rank. Your strength is that of the one. So kind of like the Neo in the Matrix, you have that potential, or what's on some of your minds, what could be crowning you. Not to tie the two things, but that was a past reading where the Hierophant took like a dominant role in it. And then there's this truth, and I feel like for some of you, the self-doubt could have come from someone in your environment. It could have come from the transits in your natal chart, but in early childhood development, some things or some behaviors could offset, our perspectives and our personality. So when the black egg came out, this is the truth. And it's not even like the dark truth or anything like that. It's just speaking from an authentic voice and the truth, which contains one of life's like essential treasures within it. It's the truth itself in this black egg. And you know what's crazy? I just thought about, okay, don't block me and don't leave, just listen. We had a discussion about, since I just mentioned like the Matrix and Neo, some of my mystics or higher philosophy, okay, friends had a discussion about God, because some of them have very spiritual callings. I myself am a theology minor, and your numerology, soul path, life number sometimes implements spirituality regardless of what path you choose in it, right? And so there was a German philosopher, philanthropist, whatever he was, that said God is dead, and baby, they went off. But he also stated that maybe God lives in the consciousness of men, because you have to be alive to not be dead. And since the creator of life probably isn't life, then it shouldn't have irritated people to say God was dead. However, whatever dimension, wherever source is, right? Because it's not just as simple as the sun when we say source, even though that's a source of energy and possibly a manifestation of life, right? And then we have the creator of life. See where I'm going with it? This dark place, this seed, okay, that created itself or is of itself and created all things, is itself. Don't get me wrong. But to see the black egg come out and to interpret it as, oh my God, all these dark cards, the Four of Cups, the Judgment in the reverse, could seem kind of creepy. However, I'm looking at it as, even in the guidebook, it states, inside of this egg resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white lies. Okay? This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. And anytime someone has said, I am the truth, there was a divine being that said that, and there have been other greats that have said it, that did wonderful things and have also been spiritual people. I'm not comparing you to all of those people and putting that pressure on you, but for some of you, you may have that type of capacity, and they keep popping firecrackers today when I'm doing you guys' readings. It's crazy. The last reading had firecrackers in reference to like the divine feminine, and then the magic square came up that sent us down a rabbit hole. But this talks about your authentic voice, okay? Not the small talk, not the noise, lies, or confusion, the truth, okay? When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in, books draw us in, the concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? And what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify a subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment in every situation. It is the epic center of truth, the birthplace of our voice. Now, just looking at this little book, right? All that is around, and then this void in the center. I just thought that was unique for anybody. And if you catch the drift, you catch it, but please do. If it doesn't resonate, just leave it, you know. What is that? I saw a cute little saying, take one, leave, whatever, leave the rest behind. So in the center of the reading, you have the Judgment card, right? And with Judgment in the reverse, it just talks about a negative response, possible self-doubt, introspection, and hesitation. It can also be a call to reflect on actions and consider consequences of our choices, because we could be considering something that we may not even like. I know one of the more modern, simple explanations of the Four of Cups talks about getting exactly what you want and not even wanting it. So speak the truth. Don't fluff it. Don't think you have to create some sort of holistic, organic, righteous ideology around something that you're trying to manifest or something that you want, or even who you are. I say it all the time. If you have been a subscriber on the channel, I've said it before, that in my opinion, because of my relationship with a higher power, authenticity and truth takes precedent over some things that we've been taught are very important. Okay, I'll just say that. Now, we're also being asked to let go of any previous negativity. If there was like a long-term sickness or injury. So for some of us, those pre-existing things, like I mentioned from childhood, that could have sparked low self-esteem or self-doubt, those relationships and the people that were within those events. Some of us, according to these cards, could be still holding on to that. And I know the Four of Cups, where we talk about abandonment and rejection, that could be the specific thing. It indicates that we could be ignoring a karmic lesson and repeating the same problem over and over again with the Judgment card. And it's like if we were to ask, well, what is that karmic lesson? What are we repeating? The number 4 could be significant. All fours, in my opinion, are connected to the Emperor. So just understanding the Emperor's path, and then how this in shadow, because I noticed the moon was here. So here's shadow. It's like one too many. Okay, like knowing when enough is enough. All right. So it's like speak truth, be clear, Don't play with it. And it's not something that you'd have to repeat, because repeating it or continuing the behavior, it seems like even makes it karmic. So if you feel like things are repeating because it's some sort of karmic lesson, then there may be something deeper to interpret there. Reevaluating your current state of mind and perspective could be important for some of us. And as far as like a future situation, it could indicate turning down things that like cigarettes, or avoiding wild parties where trouble could be brewing. Okay, because something from that event may be a repeat of something that we feel is karmic. And when we attract or attach to those situations, they become karmic partners. And it's the behaviors that attract, that situation, and not so much, oh, I got to heal from Kojak, or, oh, I got to heal from the gossiping family members. And it's like, it's more of like a magnetic law of attraction type deal, more so than it is this innocent being who could be the light and darkness, attracting unfavorable things. So creating habits, forming routines, and taking steps to put our well-being first, and allowing ourselves space and time to dive into our emotional realm. I've even had to learn that. I step out of corporate America, get into entrepreneurship, and then worked more and got paid even less. And then you think, well, I want freedom. I want time. Well, it's like, okay, well, I may have dedicated 8 to 12 hours considering traffic or my shift. But as an entrepreneur, it seems like it just mixed in an all day long type of thing with being a mom, and then handle my responsibilities, and then coming back, and then da-da-da-da-da. So there still needed to be some level of order, routine, or some kind of schedule, because it'll seem like you don't have enough time and like you've been working all day. So for some of us, that may also be important, regardless of if it's work or not. Because it's cups, I would take that it's more of an emotional thing, in consideration of, something physical with the pentacles, or mental with the swords, or like a creative nature or energy with the wands. This could be emotionally. So when I think of emotions and truth, I think of like intuitive. And even as a reader and a content creator, if your gift is intuition and being intuitive, and you have this calling that's not quite ready yet, whether you feel that or like spirit is saying it, it's like the Four of Cups also next to the Judgment card talks about, well, I don't want that fourth cup until it's just like these other ones. So it's something different about that one. And I don't like that black egg with this something different, because it gives like this black sheep energy. And for some of us, it's like unfortunate, to hear, because you think, not you, someone could think they're a victim of it, and it's something they have to heal from. And the whole time, it's just like a part of who they are, to just wake up and break out of that and understand and evolve into this rank that you have over the situations, people, and places that could have aided you in feeling this way. Even if, and because I'm always super honest, it started in the natal chart and had nothing to do with this great spiritual mission and all these demons in your environment. So just keep that in mind. If you're offered help but are too preoccupied with something else to accept what's in front of you, that could be an issue. Because if we're not accepting help, and because we're too busy, it's kind of like your guides are guiding you into something you're meditating and praying for, and then being overwhelmed by life and being too busy to see it or answer the call or take a second to stop. It's kind of like chasing our tails a little bit, because it's like we want change. We may have something in mind, but anything in life that's trying to get us there, we don't have time for it. And I've had a lot of, I won't say a lot, I've had some clients that I give an easy answer to, which could be the truth. And then that's how I started the video, with like the truth that no one wants to hear. Like, it could be you being the truth giver and feeling somewhat out of place, under accepted. Okay, I won't say unaccepted, but keep going. And then others of us where it's like, but just kind of like refuse to see or don't feel ready, and it ain't time, all of those things. Okay, so with this Judgment card here, and it's a major arcana, as well as the Hierophant, but it's in the center of your reading. With this position at one extreme, you could be on shaky grounds because you have made and or allowed things to become unduly complicated. At another extreme, you may have been unduly hard on those around you, and there is little motivation for them to help you. I understand how that feels on both ends. And it's like, well, what do we do now? Where do we go from here? Let's get a clarifier on the Judgment card. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. That is that truth. Because you got the Two Swords where sometimes we in shadow or refusing to see, or there's some sort of block, and then we know now for sure, whatever that is. You could come home and see something you've been suspecting, right? But it's still the truth. And then we can move forward with that truth. But even if we don't want to. Now, I asked for a clarifier on Judgment. The Sun card is usually my clarifier that I was right. And it also represents a union of some sort for some of you. The Sun also represents your awareness. All right. And it has been like an achievement or stands behind you and with you as a ball of energy to help you with like your physical things. So this sounds like something, like I just said, for my busy parents, my entrepreneurs, or just everyday people in the world. It just talks about the extra energy or this ball that you need to keep you going. And for some of you, knowing that you are the truth or that something is true, regardless, is going to move you forward. And I feel like that supports you. Now, there may have been confusion and you had to be strong and maybe even show grace. Here is the Empress, and I knew it was somebody's mama because I thought about the Queen of Wands. This is a lot. So I asked for one clarifier. So if I start from the top, it's giving me options. It's giving me decision making and options. It also gives me confusions. And then some of us that are great, that are in this pivotal moment. I know a lot of people who have said, I'll fast. I remember, what's her name? Glorilla. I like to call her real name. What's her name? Gloria or Glorious or something like that. She said her and her friends, no clubs, no drinking. She's not the only person that I've heard say that, but if this is pop culture, that's a great example of I stopped doing everything that I normally rap about or do in my everyday life. And that baby probably don't do none of that. They're just entertainers. But she said they didn't do anything. Club, she was like, no boys, no drugs, no alcohol, no anything. And she has found her calling, her thing, what she can put down in the book in her obituary that she did and mastered that changed her entire life. Now, if you want to get out of the trap, okay, it does talk about having the strength to do so, but healing is also being gracious toward those situations and self, and just tucking the ego down some to admit that we're confused, we need help, to not become frustrated in situations where we feel trapped and locked in. Now, I love that the same lady that got her robe dirty to try and release herself or something from this trap is the same one who's, oh, this is kind of like Isis. Oh my gosh. And that is kind of connected to another deck that I have where it's like the lion or whatever. So y'all know the story of Isis where it was something going wrong and everybody was fucked up. And Isis was the only one that had the strength and the sense to try to get to wherever God was to tell it. Look at that. It was chaos and confusion. And here come Isis. And that's how, when she made it, they said she was all raggedy and messed up. And God what is it, renewed her, and like all of her beauty was restored and all this and all that. Same time, this is kind of like a favor for a favor, or a series of events that were fated and everybody benefits, because if this is the same lady in the card, it looks like she also created what it was that he wore. So if you have any ideologies that people in your environment don't believe, this is an indicator to me that source, spirit, God, whatever you're thinking about is going to appear to you the way it's supposed to. Just like if you've ever watched The Flash, because I like to reference movies. I make references because I just do that. What I liked about The Flash is the life force, which is no thing. In The Flash, it represented itself as something familiar to him, which was a passed on loved one, his mother. And he was like, why y'all playing with me? Because I know, you know, she dead, but they just, they don't think like we think, or it doesn't think like we think. And for whatever reason, thought that it would make him more comfortable so that they could connect and it would be easier to guide him. But he was like taken by it and said, stop doing the shit, but eventually got used to it. So that's interesting. Then we have the 2 cups and the 2 pentacles, and that is 22. And for some of you, 4 wands, because I'm looking at the Roman numerals of I, and I, and I. So that's harmony and balance, which I like. That's also represented in the strength card. And this chaos is now like a little bit more favorable, because the chaos and confusion could now be understanding and momentum. So I feel that for some of us, this grounding ourselves, I feel that our ability to put away some of the things that could be like a detox, needing a detox of some sort, whatever that is. It's breaking away from an app, you know, not sitting with them fools on your break, or whatever the case may be, because it talks about abundance, harmony, balance, and some sort of momentum, which could have come after some turbulence, financial embarrassment, or just juggling a lot. And I don't know if it's like being a wife and a mother, and, you know, a relationship, but at the same time, just learning something new, something's new to us. And then we're trying to balance it out with the thing that we've already done. That's any creator, that's any human being. So I think that that's dope, but that is a lot, Spirit. I did ask for a card with the black egg, and that could have told the whole story. So I am not going over all of, I ain't taking a billion cards for everything. Okay. Okay. We have the Kabbalah. Okay. We got the 10 of coins, which talks about the truth about a family situation, your family tree. The truth when it comes to that mysticism or the mysterious things, how to take this momentum and turn it into wealth, okay? And then we also have help. Some of us do refuse to ask. This 8 of Swords does talk about possibly how we see things limiting us, self-limit, like the Judgment card in the reverse. It also talks about for some of you, not understanding a thing also could be kind of scary. And people may say, you know, the C word, like, oh, they crazy. You think you crazy. You don't understand what's going on. And it's the same woman now blindfolded and binded, right? So she gets out of that eventually, but then gets caught up in another trap. And it's just like, what do I do? So whatever this is, the reason why the Judgment card is in the environment or in the center is because gradually through life, there's going to be directions to take. And if we have a certain behavior, we're going to probably experience something at every corner, every direction to take. But here's Temperance, and here's also a mystery. And I feel that Temperance helps to balance things out. It could also be a divine being, a divine counterpart that helps us move in silence, stop talking to the people who don't understand you, kind of like go within or form a stronger connection within to improve your health, because some of us may be feeling at the break of some mental, you know, with the 8 of Swords, 7 of Swords, it could be our thoughts, our thinking, or some mental pressure, right? And so transmutation is real. I feel that a health improvement, some sort of change, and a transmutation brings about something special in your lives. And I do hope that it helps.